Chapter 17 Bowling Balls of Death, Rolling Toward My Enemies, I'll Trade You Problems. At least we did not land in Peru. My feet hit the stone, jarring my ankles. We stumbled against the wall, but Meg provided me with a convenient cushion. We found ourselves in a dark tunnel braced with oaken beams. The hole we'd fallen through was gone, replaced by an earthen ceiling. I saw no sign of the other teams, but from somewhere above I could vaguely hear Harley chanting, "Go, go, go!" "When I get my powers back," I said, "I will turn Harley into a constellation called the Ankle Biter. At least constellations are silent." Meg pointed down the corridor. "Look!" As my eyes adjusted, I realized the tunnel's dim light emanated from a glowing piece of fruit about 30 meters away. "A golden apple?" I said. Meg lurched forward, pulling me with her. "Wait," I said. "There might be traps." As if to illustrate my point, Connor and Paolo emerged from the darkness at the other end of the corridor. Paolo scooped up the golden apple and shouted, "Brazil!" Connor grinned at us. "Too late, suckers!" The ceiling opened above them, showering them with iron orbs the size of cantaloupes. Connor yelped, "Run!" He and Paolo executed an awkward 180 and hobbled away, hotly pursued by a rolling herd of cannonballs with sparking fuses. The sounds quickly faded. Without the glowing apple, we were left in total darkness. "Great," Meg's voice echoed. "Now what?" "I suggest we go the other direction." That was easier said than done. Being blind seemed to bother Meg more than it did me. Thanks to my mortal body, I already felt crippled and deprived of my senses. Besides, I often relied on more than sight. Music required keen hearing. Archery required a sensitive touch and the ability to feel the direction of the wind. Okay, sight was also helpful, but you get the idea. We shuffled ahead, our arms extended in front of us. I listened for suspicious clicks, snaps, or creaks that might indicate an incoming flock of explosions. But I suspected that if I did hear any warning signs, it would be too late. Eventually, Meg and I learned to walk with our bound legs in synchronicity. It wasn't easy. I had a flawless sense of rhythm. Meg was always a quarter beat slow or fast, which kept us veering left or right and running into walls. We lumbered along for what might have been minutes or days. In the labyrinth, time was deceptive. I remembered what Austin had told me about the labyrinth feeling different since the death of its creator. I was beginning to understand what he meant. The air seemed fresher, as if the maze hadn't been chewing up quite so many bodies. The walls didn't radiate the same malignant heat. As far as I could tell, they weren't oozing blood or slime either, which was a definite improvement. In the old days, you couldn't take a step inside Daedalus's labyrinth without sensing its all-consuming desire. "I will destroy your mind and your body." Now the atmosphere was sleepier, the message not quite as virulent. "Hey, if you die in here, that's cool." "I never liked Daedalus," I muttered. "That old rascal didn't know when to stop. He always tried to have the latest tech, the most recent updates. I told him not to make his maze self-aware. 'AI will destroy us, man,' I said. But no, he had to give the labyrinth a malevolent consciousness." "I don't know what you're talking about," Meg said, "but maybe you shouldn't badmouth the maze while we're still inside it." Once, I stopped when I heard the sound of Austin's saxophone. It was faint, echoing through so many corridors I couldn't pinpoint where it was coming from. Then it was gone. I hoped that he and Kayla found their 3 apples and escaped quickly. Finally, Meg and I reached a Y corridor. I could tell this from the flow of air and the temperature difference against my face. "Why'd we stop?" Meg asked. "Shh!" I listened intently.